Hey, Anthony, that's here. I get asked all the time, Anthony, there's so many different things you recommend, so many different useful tools and tips and tricks, and some things cost money, some things don't cost money. But, if I have to figure out what is the number one thing, what is the one thing that if I had to choose to focus on so I'm not scattered everywhere, what is that one thing that I have to pick that's going to help me grow my business and have the reach the goals that I want to reach? And my answer is the same every single time. And that answer is top producer. It's very simple. You cannot have a business of a certain size without having a database that matches or exceeds that particular size. So when it comes down to that, you have to have a place where you can manage your contacts. But let's talk about how people manage contacts here for a minute. First of all, a lot of people use, the analog type system, I call it, where you're using either, index cards in a shoebox or a Rolodex, or you're using your Franklin planner or your day timer. And those are fine, but really when you have to get down into your database and you have to find out, hey, who lives in specific neighborhoods and who has birthdays during certain months and who has, dogs, who has said that they wanted to move at a certain time. It's kind of tough to do. It really is kind of tough to do. And, most people could probably manage, 50, and if you're really good, 100, maybe 150 people through that type of system. It's a really difficult thing to do. And so, that we have to realize, boy, if we want to keep up with today's market with everything being online, we have to be online ourselves. Also, a lot of people use Excel as a way to manage their database or a spreadsheet. And basically, if you think about that, that's nothing more than a storage container for the names and addresses. But you're not really managing the databases. You're not cultivating it. You're not staying in contact with your customers. I'd challenge you to see if you were in fact very effectively marketing and prospecting to your client base using something like Excel or even Outlook. Outlook is, a personal information manager that, again, you can store in there, and yeah, you have a little bit more sorting capability, but when it comes down to adding action plans, there is no real viable option for that. Same thing with Access. People say Microsoft Access or something else equivalent to that. And yeah, you can get in there and you can sort and you can sift and filter and look at your data, and that's great. But the reason why I recommend, the number one reason why I recommend Top Producer is because of the action plans. I have had people, because of my action plans, 5 years after the last time that I personally spoke to them, call me up and say, hey, Anthony, we've been getting your stuff for the last 5 years, and now we're ready to sell. Let me tell you something. One call in particular that comes to mind like that, and I had several. That one call, it paid for my Top Producer system for 30 years. For 30 years, that one call. And the other calls that I've had, I wouldn't have had them if I did not stay in touch. There are so many statistics that tell us the reason people don't use the agent that they worked with before or they made first contact with is because they never stay in touch with them. Top Producer allows you to do that. Let's look at the action plans here real quick. Under calendar here, I go to action plans or to the plans manager just to give you an example of what is available to you. It's just mind-blowing. As I scroll down and say I'm looking at action plans here, and I scroll down, you can see how many different action plans. And these action plans are designed and catered and geared towards the specific target market. So are you working with a seller? It's geared towards sellers. Are you working with a buyer? Same thing. For sale by owner, expired, out of area, investor, Spanish speaking. I mean, these are all pre-written for you so that you don't have to do it. I would challenge you to try to even think about writing a plan, an email plan to stay in touch with somebody for 10 years. Can you imagine having to do that? That to me, it just takes a whole lot of time and work. And also notice in the plans, they incorporate calls and emails, and some of them do calls and emails and letters. So a good balance of prospecting and marketing to that database so you have those personal touches. But look at this, 10 years of staying in touch. With one click, I assign somebody to this action plan. I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't like to think. I don't want to have to get up and say, okay, what do I have to do today and who do I have to call and try and remember all that? No, I come into my top producer, I click on the home button, and it tells me what activities that I have outstanding for the day. And that would show up right here, but of course I'm doing this on a weekend, so I don't have anything scheduled for the weekend. But I can look at also leads. I can look at listing activity and closing activity. So managing my business, not just my contact database, but my business I'm managing. My calendar, I've got, excuse me, all of the activities that I have scheduled in my calendar. My plans manager, I can manage the history of, to go back and see, hey, what have I done? Where have I been? And so you can see in here, I just come in and I look at a week at a glance. This is no big deal because we all, we're used to it using some other programs and stuff. But the great thing is that these particular activities that I have, they tie into very specific clients. So when I look at a client's history, I go, oh yeah, I went back and I met with that person on that particular day. And so it links to it and creates that history. Contacts. When you are looking at contacts, I talked about sorting. Boy, you really want to be able to have the ability to go into your contacts and say, okay, let me just see all my contacts, or let me easily add a contact and assign an action plan. But also, I want to manage my leads, right? Oops. I want to manage my leads. So when I come in here and I say leads summary, it'll tell me how many leads I actually have. When I can create web forms that I can put on my websites and on my blogs to get people to put their information in to get free reports or just to find out how much their home was worth or whatever. Um, and then I can search for contacts. Now the great thing is when I search for contacts, I can go in and search by any parameter that I have. That includes birthdays. It includes, uh, um, what city they live in, what neighborhood they're in, if I've identified that, what company they work for. I mean, anything. And so this is, one of the searches or one of the abilities to search right here. This is a quick search. There's an advanced search. I can just put in anything that I want to search in order to find that particular contact. I mean, that's very valuable. Just think about it. When you're trying to target a specific niche market and you've got them sitting in your Excel spreadsheet and you've got to go through, 2,000 people, it's going to take you a long time to do. Me, I do it in about 30 seconds and it's done. Also, you can manage your referrals here. This is a great thing. When you start getting referrals, you start managing them. Find out who is giving you referrals and keep track of that. And keep them at the top of your list as far as showing them your appreciation, whether it's agents or other clients. Manage your listings and your closings. So you're managing, again, your business. Service reports. If you've ever had a transaction where you're sitting there and you're getting down to the end, you're going, oh boy, finally I'm going to get paid. And then you go, oh my gosh, I forgot these 3 or 4 or 5 things that need to be done. Well, your service reports will prevent that from happening as well because it'll keep you on track and add it to those activities that you have to do every day. Marketing, I'll get back to that. Email incorporated directly into the program in your inbox. You can compose email and send. You can also send mass email to your database. But one of the things that's important is that we have to be meticulous with our contact logs, right? And the answer is yes. We are supposed to be meticulous with our contact documentation because it's only when something goes wrong do we need that information. But almost guaranteed, when it does go wrong, A lot of times people don't have that information. But when somebody sends you an email, it actually links that email to that contact and stores it in their history. So if something goes wrong with a transaction and 3 years later you find out that you're being asked questions about it, you can click on that contact and go into the history and say, oh, no, no, no. On this date, they sent me an email saying, no, we didn't do that, or we don't want that, or yes, we agree to this, or whatever it says. So very, very valuable. And of course, in the contact summary or in the contact fields, you have the ability to put notes in that are date and time stamped. Very, very critical. Financial, your income, and expense tracker. So when you um, are closing transactions, you're putting in how much money you're making, how much you're spending on your marketing and all that stuff. So you really know where your business is. I tell people, so how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you're at? First of all, you got to know your income and expenses. But even if you know where you're at, how do you get to where you want to be if you don't know where it is? So you got to, this ties into your goals. Buyer net sheets, seller net sheets, do them right out of Top Producer. Easy, easy, easy. On your cell phone, mobility. I've got my Top Producer. I carry it around with me. It's on my cell phone, and if I need to contact somebody or I got an activity, I don't have to be in the office at the computer, sitting there doing that. So when you subscribe, I highly suggest that you get the mobility as well along with that. It is an add-on, but it's very much worth it. So in marketing, what can you do? You can do a mail out. So you can, again, do a search. When you click on that, it takes you to a search. Who do you want to do a mail out to? You select all the people you want to do a mail out to, and then you attach it to whatever letter or document or campaign or whatever it is that you want to do. Flyers, the flyer database that they have here. Why is everybody spending so much time working on flyers and worrying about what the font is that they use and what the background color is and all of those things? No, they just need to come in here and say, you know what, boom, here's a just sold flyer. I'm going to pass those out. I don't need to worry about it. Here's all these different templates in here. So, um, uh, you know, real nicely done. Are there other flyers that are done even nicer? And sure, but we can spend our time worrying about that, or we can spend our time on just getting the information out there and prospecting and marketing and getting leads. It's all about leads, building our database, and converting those people into clients. Same thing with presentations. We can go in here and there's all kinds of presentations that are already pre-made, so you don't have to sit there and spend your time designing your pre-listing presentation or your seller presentation or or any of that stuff. So let's see, presentations, and you go in here and you've got the buyer presentation, all pages. Instruction for using seller presentation, all pages. You've got a pre-list presentation for expired listings. You've got another expired listings, buyer pre-list. So you've got seller for sale by owner pre-list, a guide to selling your home, FSBO pre-list. So many. These presentations are all here just to use. Why are we spending so much time creating this? Oh, they're in Spanish too. So, if you're Spanish speaking, oh my gosh, community reports, all kinds of great stuff, you guys, for you to use. Postcards, same thing, just a whole bunch of them that you can use, and it ties into a thing called Live Post, where you can go in here and let's click on that. Let's go in here. Let's click on a postcard. Let's let's go here. So look at all these postcards that are available in here. So let's say you've got the nature. So you're a kid person, which I am. I've got two wonderful kids. But you want to do the baby series kind of thing. You click on this and you say, it asks you, okay, well, who do you want to mail it to? And then you are able to just through a few clicks send it out to the people that you want to mail it to through Top Producer. No hassling with having to export it out and send it to a mail house or anything. They've already made that connection directly for you. So the options of quick marketing, inexpensive, already designed. Don't mess around with it. Just get it out there is incredible. So, in order to get Top Producer, the best thing that you can do is you can go back to our site here, askarealtoronline.com, as it is up here, askarealtoronline.com. Go to Anthony Recommends and scroll down to Top Producer Software. When you get here, it just has some recap of what some of the things that I've just said, but also it has a link there. Just click on that link. It'll take you to a page where you can click on I'm a new agent, or I'm a current Top Producer customer. If you already have a current customer, there's other products that they have that we can talk about at another time that are incredibly valuable. You just say what state you're in, what board you belong to, and I'm just going to pick, I'll just do OCAR, and then pick an affiliation. Now, I can't speak for the other offices, but I know that when you choose the Keller Williams Realty, that you are going to get, first of all, the 30-day money-back guarantee, but also when you get Top Producer, just Top Producer by itself, which you'll see at with the Keller Williams program, is exclusive pricing. It's $5 less per month, so it's $34.95 instead of the regular $39.95. $5. You know what? That's $60 a year that you're going to save. Just click on Order Now. A lot of other products that you might want to check out as well. The other one that I do recommend if you have the budget is the Market Snapshot with the 8i bundle. Market Snapshot is great for generating leads when you do it the right way. And so, we can talk about that as well. But at the very, very, very least, you need to get the Top Producer 8i and get it right away. And that's it, folks. Good luck. I really wish you the most success in your real estate careers, and want to be here for you. If you have any questions or anything about what I just discussed here, please feel free to contact me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Thanks again. Have a great day.